The Pentagon has come under fire after a New Jersey lawmaker has urged them to investigate into whether or not they're responsible for the spread of Lyme disease in America. It could be possible that the Pentagon used weaponized ticks as a part of a biological weapons experiment, and I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know right now on IO. What's gravy potatoes? Welcome back to another IO video. We tell you about what's trending on the internet, and if you're new here, what's up? I'm Charlotte. Nice to meet you. I'm not gonna ask you to subscribe. I'm gonna assume you already did it because you like my outfit, and if you haven't subscribed, read. Alright, so here's the dealio. So you know, like Lyme disease? That horrible infectious disease that's spread by ticks? Avril Lavigne had it. It's why she dropped off the map for a few years. Lyme disease affects 400,000 Americans per year. The most common symptom is an expanding area of redness on the skin that appears at the site of the tick bite, around 1 week afterward. But Lyme disease has other symptoms too, including the loss of ability to move one or both sides of the face, so facial paralysis, joint pain, severe headaches and stiffness of neck, and heart palpitations. It is also very hard to diagnose Lyme disease. I had a friend whose father was developing a bunch of strange symptoms and the doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong. He ended up going to chemotherapy because the doctors thought he had cancer, and it turns out it was Lyme disease all along. And it also turns out that the spread of Lyme disease might have been caused by a Pentagon biological weapons experiment. This is straight out of a science fiction film, but I swear to God this is real. I'm very concerned, you guys, and I don't get concerned very often. Republican Congressman Chris Smith from New Jersey proposed an amendment asking the Defense Department Inspector General to find out if the US experimented with ticks and other insects regarding use as a biological weapon between 1950 to 1975. The review is meant to find out if the experiment resulted in the release of ticks or insects outside of any lab by accident or as an experiment. The review has been approved by a voice vote in the House of Representatives, and it's been added to a defense spending bill, but it has to go through the Senate first. Chris Smith was inspired by, quote, a number of books and articles that suggested that significant research has been done at US government facilities including Port Detrick, Maryland, Plum Island, and New York. And that research was meant to turn ticks into bioweapons. One of these books is called Bitten: The Secret History of Lyme Disease and Biological Weapons. It speaks about biological weapons researcher Willy Bergdorfer, who discovered that the Lyme disease epidemic was a military experiment gone wrong. Bergdorfer claims that his job was to breed fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and other blood-sucking insects, and then infect them with pathogens that cause human diseases. Like, are you serious right now? Bergdorfer also claims that there were secret government programs where weaponized ticks and other bugs were dropped into the air and uninfected bugs were released into residential areas in the US to trace how they spread. But the experiment took a turn and could have led to the spread of Lyme disease in the US in the 1960s. Contrary to popular belief, ticks aren't insects, they're arachnids, which means they're related to spiders. When you think about how big a tick is, they range from being as small as a pinhead to as large as a pencil eraser. While I think it's a pretty outlandish claim that the US government would experiment with biological weapons on their own people, I do think it might be possible for the experiment to have gone horribly wrong. Maybe one of the infested ticks made it out of the lab on a researcher's cloak or something. What do you think? Is it possible that the US government would conduct biological weapons tests on the American people? Or do you think it's an experiment gone horribly wrong? Or do you think that the US government has nothing to do with the spread of Lyme disease? Let me know down there in the comments, and while you ponder that, it is time again! Comment time. I know I haven't been on the channel very much lately. I was busy with Life's Biggest Questions videos, so I'm gonna respond to some comments from one of Jocelyn's videos, Cameron Boyce fans call out disgusting challenge. Let's see what you guys say when I'm not around. Still read the comments, by the way. Javier said, an asteroid needs to take us out ASAP. It can take you guys out, I'll hitch a ride on it. But then it'll explode. Yo Yeet said, where's the potato queen? Right here? I missed you too. I'm still at the studio, but I was needed on LBQ this week. If you guys don't subscribe to LBQ, it's another channel that I host on occasion. It's pretty fun stuff. It's blowing up right now because of all the Area 51 stuff. Moonlight said, during my free time I watch this channel and ASMR. I love ASMR. Sugar Boogers is my favorite ASMR account on Instagram, highly reco. Mindsheep said, is it just me or do they upload 24/7? We are a news channel, so we do post more than once a day. Have you ever seen a newspaper with just one story? No, you haven't, so yes, we do post more than once a day, usually 3 times a day. Lucky Llama said, I'm seriously in love with this channel. Well, I'm seriously in love with your screen name. Okay, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Click this playlist to keep watching and leave a like if you enjoyed your time here, or like if you learned something today, because this video was about Lyme disease. And subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will see you in a future IO video.